there. Now, feedback is important in communication because it's the only way to know whether the message you passed was understood as intended, and to be sure that it elicited the intended response. The other day, I watched a video where Oprah was explaining how every person she had interviewed over the years would ask one common question. Whether it was a teacher, a president, a famous singer, or even a prisoner, they all asked this one question at the end of the interview. Was it okay? That question is for seeking feedback. They all wanted to get feedback. They wanted to know whether they were well heard and understood, whether they said something that mattered, and whether they added value in some way. And this is common for all of us. We all want feedback. I'm Catherine Gaho from SBO Research. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Elevators, where we offer elevating and empowering messages to help you grow in life, career, and business. In this video, I will talk about the role of feedback in communication strategy. I will highlight specific cases with relevant examples to show how feedback works to enhance communication effectiveness. Do like this video and stay with me to the end. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and press notifications so that you don't miss the videos we post here every Monday and Thursday. Now, feedback is the response to the message by the targeted recipient. It's necessary, feedback is necessary and should be planned for in a communication strategy because it helps you to know if your message was effective. We are always seeking feedback in our relationships and communication. It's human nature to want feedback. As Ken Blanchard put it, feedback is the breakfast of champions because basically without feedback you can't improve your situation. You can't know where you're going wrong and where you can improve. That's why I keep telling you to write comments below so that I can learn what I'm doing right and what I need to improve. And let me also thank those of you who keep giving me comments. I really appreciate and I always respond to your comments. Now, since communication is a two-way process aimed at persuading a target audience to act in a desired way, the ultimate test of effectiveness is the receiver's response. Think about it this way. All communication is tied to an intent or objective. I don't think we ever communicate aimlessly. We always want the recipient to do something or respond in some way. Even as in simple situation like, pass me this cup. You know, we always communicate with a purpose. As composer Peter Maxwell Davies put it, if you don't get feedback from your performers and audience, you are going to be working in a vacuum. Now let's consider some examples. In personal relationships, the aim of communication could be to influence a friend or family member to do something for you. Maybe to help you with an assignment or show you how to do something, and maybe even show you how to make something like a food recipe for an interesting dish, or to even go out with you on a date or such like things. Now, all these situations can benefit from feedback or clarity of response, if it's a yes or no. The other day, I was watching the new TV channel called Honey on DSTV. And there is this dating program. It's like a matchmaking situation where feedback about the first date is obtained through a third party who kind of organizes the first and the second date. So when he organizes the second date, you are supposed to wait to see whether any of the two people who were introduced in the last date would turn up. And that's how you know the response. And in this particular episode that I was watching, the guy turned up, smart and ready. Even if he didn't sound so sure that he was keen on this particular girl. But now the girl did not show up. This sent a clear response. She was not interested. We can imagine the disappointment the guy felt with that negative feedback. But that's the power of feedback. He knew exactly where he stood with this particular date, and he did not have to waste any more time with the wrong person. It was not present, but he could now move on and maybe work to find the right person, the one who suits him, the one who will turn up the second, third, and or future dates. Where there is no clear feedback, the relationship may drag on and end up being heavily one-sided. And then when one party wants to pull out, the other thinks they have been used and may react badly. And things may even escalate, like we are seeing these days. You know, this lack of clear and timely feedback partly explains some of the crimes of passion that we are seeing these days, or what the experts are calling intimate partner crimes. So things seem to escalate in many situations because of lack of communication, because of lack of feedback. Feedback that helps somebody know that I was understood, you were understood. Now let's turn to marketing communication strategy. We've all been the target of marketing communication, like in the form of advertising or promotion. Let me ask you a question. What advertisements have you read or seen recently? Think about it. What's the aim of these advertising messages? What you will notice, it's either to create awareness, generate interest, develop desire in you for the product, and also to ultimately get you to buy something or to take action, like to click a link or go somewhere where there is more information and the like. But in the end, there will be intended outcome by the advertiser. Advertisements usually follow the AIDA model to connect the aim or intent. That is AIDA: A for attention, I for interest, D for desire, and A for action. As such, positive feedback will be seen through increased awareness, interest, and action, which may be in the form of seeking more information, making a purchase, or expressing the intention to buy at a future date, or just expressing your desire for the product. Now, negative feedback would be in the opposite form, like when you skip ads on YouTube, it shows lack of interest. And many times it tells YouTube that that's not the kind of thing you're interested in, and next time they will feed you advertisements that are more aligned to your interests. It provides feedback. Let's turn to the workplace. At the workplace, communication may be aimed at getting your boss to promote you, or to give you a salary increase, or to even to get a preference for a new position or new employer. Now, even here, people seek to ensure positive feedback by ensuring the right timing, checking that the boss is in the right mood before making the request. I think we could all get more positive feedback, even in the workplace communication, if we use the AIDA model. And maybe we do, probably we do. You know, how you get the attention of the boss, you try to interest him in your agenda, trying to tie what he's interested in to what you're interested in. Actually, that may be just the same. So you inspire desire, you seek to inspire desire, and finally you seek action. Let's look at another example. In politics, the intent of communication could be to get voters to buy into your vision or to join your party and ultimately to vote for you. Like in Kenya now, we see the communication from many politicians in the Hustler movement and the others in the BBI team, all whose aim is to get more voters to identify with their cause and join their team, and eventually vote for them when the time comes, particularly in the 2022 elections for president, governor, MP, senator, woman rep, and MCA. The ultimate aim is the big number, the 2022 election. Along the way, they get feedback from those who turn up at their rallies, the reception they get, you know, the cheering when they speak to them, when they appear, the communication in social media, and the voting behavior in by-elections. But the ultimate feedback will come in the final elections in 2022 and will be seen in the performance by their teams in that election. That is how feedback works in that situation. Now, one advantage of face-to-face communication, whether it's for business, whether it's in politics or personal or relationships, is that feedback is obtained immediately. You get to know through gestures, facial expressions, body language, or even words how someone is reacting to what you are saying. This way, you can change your message based on the response you see or hear from the recipient. This immediate feedback is what makes personal selling so successful, because the salesperson is able to look at the customer and can then tailor the sales pitch to the observed reactions as well as the expressed needs of each prospect. That is not possible in personal communication like advertising or written communication and the like. And that's why you must always plan for feedback. As you plan communication strategy, you always need to plan for feedback. How will I receive feedback? What will I do so that I'm able to know exactly what is happening? Now, all this shows the need to plan for feedback in communication. Now, to sum up, the 3 ways to encourage others to give you feedback. First is listen actively to the feedback you are getting without interrupting the source. Second, be open-minded and willing to accept both positive and negative feedback. Third, pay attention to the meaning behind the words. That is the meaning behind the meaning. Go beyond the obvious. Or to quote Peter Drucker, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. That's why many times in communication we find that you thought we understood each other. And then when you look at how somebody is behaving, you realize that they maybe just agreed with you at that point because they wanted to end the discussion or the unpleasantness. So they said yes as a way of just closing the matter, but they didn't mean it. So you have to listen to that feedback, even the hidden feedback. You need to go beyond the words that are said. That way, you can find the real meaning of the behavior. And if you know someone, it's much easier. If you don't know them, it's much harder. So it's all an effort. I think I'll do another video in the future to look at this question: how do you plan for feedback in communication strategy in a specific way? What things do you need to do? Now, thank you for staying with me. Do like this video and share it with others who you think might benefit from it. If you have not subscribed yet, do it now and press the subscriber notification bell. That way you will not miss any of the videos we post on Monday and Thursday. Monday, motivation topic, and Thursday, business. Thank you so much and best wishes. We all need to elevate our mindsets at this time.